book up wide and meet adventures that wait for you. Live and learn and laugh and play whenever your dream comes true. You could swim along the river all the way to the sea. You could fly up in the sky above the clouds and trees. You could plant a flower garden up on top of the moon. You could swing through the jungle all afternoon. Wherever our story takes us, I can't wait to see. Yes, friends, come and read with me. It's Online Storytime.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Online Storytime at your Grand Rapids Area Library. I'm Miss Tracy.
Hi, I'm Teacher Missy.
And we are so happy that you are here with us today. Now, Teacher Missy, before we start talking about that mischievous thing we're going to talk about, mischievous is a really big word. Should we sing?
I think we should sing.
Okay, all right. Storytime friends, would you sing with us? Okay, here we go. Remember, you can clap whatever you've got. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, clap your hands. If you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, if you want to hear a story, clap your hands. And I so want to hear a story. So what do you want to talk about today?
Well, this happens to be one of my favorite little forest creatures. And some people find them a little pesty, but I don't. I just think they're adorable. But this, if you look, guys, take a good look. And I bet some of you know what that is. I bet some of you have these in your yard or somewhere around your house. It's a chipmunk.
A chipmunk?
A chipmunk.
They are phenomenally friendly critters.
They are. They're not very fearful,
Mm-hmm.
which I think for them is not a good thing, but
Right.
it is for the rest of us to be able to have. You can really kind of almost interact with them if you're around enough and they're
Sure.
around enough. They'll kind of come up and look at you, and they have done that with my dog, and yeah, that's probably not a good mix. But they're in the rodent family. You guys know what rodents are?
Isn't a mouse a rodent?
A mouse is a rodent. A squirrel is a rodent.
Uh-huh.
There are many. Some are big rodents, some are little rodents, but he's pretty small. And they are very, very friendly. They're not timid at all. And they're not very big, so they have to be a little bit careful, and they like to eat nuts.
I learned something about chipmunks when I was getting ready for story time this week that I never even knew. A lot of chipmunks climb trees. And they don't, we see them on the ground all the time, but if they need food or if they're getting out of the way of a predator, they will scurry up a tree. And I don't think I've ever seen a chipmunk in a tree.
Well, I have, because we have so many trees, and right by our house I've got kind of a big bush that's pretty stout, pretty thick, and when the dog comes out,
Oh, sure.
when Jack comes out and starts sniffing around, those little chippies will go
Right up.
right up there, and they just sit there, and where a red squirrel will chatter at him
Yeah.
and try to make him mad, but the chipmunks don't do that.
Yeah. So do you have any good books about chipmunks?
I do, Miss Tracy, I do. Miss Tracy, look what I have this morning.
That's a chipmunk.
It is a chipmunk, and it's a great picture of a chipmunk. They're just so cute.
Mm-hmm.
They're furry, and they're beautiful markings, those little stripes. And this is called Animals Underground. Chipmunks. Well, who knew? And this book comes to us. Emily Sebastian put this together. And if you notice, boys and girls, this has real pictures. This book has photographs in it, not just illustrations. And it comes to us from Power Kid Press. Chipmunks are cute. They're part of the squirrel family. Look at when he's got those little tiny feet going to beat the band there. One kind of chipmunk lives in Asia. The rest live in North America. I didn't know that. Look how long his tail is. It's way down past his back, way down. Well, chipmunks are small, Bigger animals such as owls eat chipmunks. Looks like he's looking for a chipmunk. Chipmunks make a sound when they are in danger. It sounds like chip, 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 chip. And look at his ears are up. He's very alert, looking out for danger. Baby chipmunks live with their mothers. Older chipmunks live alone. Those are babies. I bet they're tiny. Can't you imagine that they're just little things? Seeds and nuts are a chipmunk's main foods. Chipmunks store food to eat later. And if you've ever watched a chipmunk at a bird feeder, they fill their little cheeks. They just pick up seed after seed after seed, fill their little cheeks with seeds. Chipmunks gather most of their food on the ground. They also climb trees to reach food.
That's what we were talking about.
We were just talking about that. And look, there's a picture of him, Tracy.
Wow.
Yeah, there he is. Or she. Most chipmunks dig burrows. They have many chambers or rooms, so their houses are underground. That's pretty cool. I don't think I knew that. I don't know where I thought they lived, but so that's his house. Chipmunks stuff their cheeks full of food. This is how they carry food around. And we were just talking about that. Look at that. Look at those little cheeks are just all puffed out with food. And he'll carry it back to his burrow, I guess. Chipmunks sleep most of the winter. They wake up to eat, though. I didn't know that. And these are some pictures from the story that we had in front of us. Here he's climbing, and there's his burrow. These are hard to see, though, aren't they? I think those are pretty small. Wow. Chipmunks are awesome, aren't they? And if you see one at your house and he stops and looks at you, he's probably interested in. I do have just a little tiny quick story. I had one climb up the side of my chair sitting outside, and he climbed up and drank out of my lemonade.
Oh my goodness.
Drank out of my lemonade. I was holding a glass and I was frozen. I just sat there like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He was thirsty.
Hey, Storytime friends, Teacher Missy, do you want to do a flannel board?
Oh, you know I love the flannel board.
Awesome. If you can see, Storytime friends, we have 2 trees on our flannel board, but something's different about them. Yep, they both have green leaves. They both have brown trunks, but one of them has acorns. You're right. Would you count the acorns with me? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, number 3 is falling off, 5. And the name of the poem we're going to do is 5 Big Acorns, because those are really, really, really big. All right, here we go. 5 big acorns sitting in a tree. Along came a chipmunk as hungry as can be. The brisk winds blew and rustled all the leaves. Down came an acorn. The chipmunk was pleased. Now how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 big acorns sitting in a tree. Along came a chipmunk as hungry as can be. The brisk winds blew and rustled all the leaves. Down came an acorn, and the chipmunk was pleased. How many? Yes, that's right. 1, 2, 3. 3 big acorns sitting in a tree. The brisk winds blew and rustled all the leaves. Down came an acorn. The chipmunk was pleased. Nummy, nummy, nummy. How many do we have left? You're right, two. Two big acorns sitting in a tree. Along came the chipmunk, as hungry as can be. The brisk winds blew and rustled all the leaves, and down came an acorn. He needed a snack on the way down. The chipmunk was pleased. Oh, one left. Do you think that'll be enough for the chipmunk? One big acorn sitting in a tree. Along came a chipmunk as hungry as can be. The brisk winds blew and rustled all the leaves, and down came the acorn. The chipmunk was pleased. All the yummy acorns have fallen from the tree. The chipmunk's tummy is as full as can be. But the wind is still blowing, blowing through the leaves. What's a chipmunk to do? On to the next tree. Oh my goodness. Do you think he can eat all of those acorns too? I think he's gonna have a full pantry for winter. Hey, thanks for playing.
Miss Tracy, check this out.
I see a chipmunk on that cover.
I see a chipmunk too. But what do we notice that's different from the other book that we read? This has
illustrations
This
instead of
has
photographs.
illustrations, which means somebody drew the pictures. And this is called I Want That Nut. I Want That Nut by Madeline Valentine. And it comes to us from Alfred Knopf, publisher. I want that nut. I wonder who's going to get it. Looks like two of them want that nut. Mouse and Chipmunk were playing together when they heard a kerplunk. They peeked through the bushes and saw a nut! A big, beautiful nut. Look at how excited they look. Mouse looked at the nut. Chipmunk looked at the nut. Mouse and Chipmunk looked at each other. You take it. No, you take it. Oh, I insist. Oh, you really should take it. Well, I guess I did see it first. Okay, I'll take it. Ooh, come on. You're sticking to me. What the heck here? Come on. Well, Chipmunk took the nut. There he goes. There's his striped tail.
How does Mouse feel about that?
Well, he doesn't look very happy.
No, yeah, he looks maybe surprised.
Well, he looks quite surprised. He's making kind of a funny face with his eyes, like,
Yeah.
and there went Chipmunk with the nut. Chipmunk and the nut were inseparable. And look at the face on Chipmunk. He's so, so happy. They played together. They read together. They laid in the grass and stared at the clouds together. Mouse is back here behind this rock. I want that nut. Mouse went to Chipmunk's house for a friendly visit. He very politely knocked on the door. Mouse, Chipmunk, and the nut sat down to tea. Look at the nut got its own chair. This is lovely, thank you, said Mouse. Oh, it's our pleasure. The nut and I are very happy that you stopped by, said the Chipmunk. Oh, look, a dinosaur! Mouse took the nut. Oh my gosh, he tricked the Chipmunk and he stole the nut. Mouse and Nut did everything together. They played tic-tac-toe together. They napped together. They were having a dance party together when there was a knock on the door. The visitor looked a little familiar. Hello, I'm the judge of the most beautiful nut contest. You may have heard of us. Do you have a nut? Oh, yes, Mouse said. Give me that nut. And look at it, he's all dressed up. I wonder what's in there. Oh my goodness, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Chipmunk and Nut were having the best time together when Mouse stomped over that nut. The nut is mine, they both said. Well, actually, it's mine. Wonder who that is. It fell out of my tree this morning and I have been looking for it all day. Oh, thank you for finding my nut. Goodbye. Look at their faces.
Is that a squirrel, Teacher Missy?
I think it is a squirrel. That big bushy tail sticking out, and bigger than the chipmunk.
Yeah.
And the mouse. Mouse and chipmunk sat down together. Well, that got a little out of hand, didn't it? Oh, yes, it did. Oh, I'm sorry I stole the nut. Well, I'm sorry I stole the nut. Hey, look at this log. They're looking at the log and they're dancing around. And they're both so happy that they found this log. Mouse smiled at Chipmunk, and Chipmunk smiled at Mouse. Mouse, Chipmunk, and the log had the best time together. Look at how happy they are. They're just so happy. Here's a picture on the back here too where they're just joyful, running around, waving flowers, hiding in the bush.
So maybe a log is just as much fun as a nut.
Well, apparently it is. I think they just wanted some little companion. I thought they were going to eat the nut, but they didn't.
Nope.
They did not.
Storytime friends, Teacher Missy.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody want to wave a scarf?
Oh,
This is going to be so much fun today. We're going to give, yep, you're right. Thank you for remembering. We have to give Teacher Missy her green scarf.
it's my favorite.
And we probably should give Teacher Missy some words.
Right. Thank you, Miss Tracy.
That's a
Thank you.
poem that we're going to do in a little bit. But first, we're going to do our... Sorry. If you heard the whispering, Teacher Missy was just practicing the words. But before I heard the whispering, I heard something else. I heard a friend.
Who's here?
Storytime friends. Giraffe would like to be our storytime friend today.
Oh,
Hi, Teacher Missy.
good morning, Giraffe.
Hello, storytime friends.
You're looking very chipper today.
Thank you, like a chipmunk. I'm chipper like a chipmunk.
Yes.
I like to learn about chipmunks because they're so short and I'm so tall. That's right, Giraffe. So you sit right there and you can watch us while we wave our scarves. Giraffe is particularly fond of scarf waving. All right, let's start out with our warm-up, okay? Here we go. My scarf goes up, my scarf goes down, my scarf goes around, 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 around. My scarf goes in, my scarf comes out, my scarf flies about, 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 about. Woo! Did you woo? I like it when other people woo with me. Then we're like wooers all together. We woo together.
Woo, woo,
Let's do that again and see how fast we can go. Here we go. My scarf goes up, My scarf goes down, my scarf goes around, 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 around. My scarf goes in, my scarf comes out. My scarf flies about, 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 about. Woo! Woo! Teacher Missy wooed. Did you woo? Thanks for being wooers. Okay, all right, now we have a poem about a chipmunk, and it's called Chipmunk in a Tree. And I like this one because the words are so fun to say. Like the first line is whiskey, frisky, hippity hop. Is that fun? Excuse me, is that fun to say? Whiskey, frisky, hippity hop. Okay, so our chipmunks are going to climb the tree, just like I learned today that they can do. Here we go. Whiskey, frisky, hippity hop, up they climb to the tree top. Whirly, twirly, round and round, down they scamper to the ground. Where's their supper? In a shell. Snappy, cracky, out it fell. Isn't that fun? They cracked open the nuts just like the acorns. Should we do it again? Here we go. Just listen to those fun words.
This is a fun one.
Whiskey, frisky, hippity hop, up they climb to the tree top. Whirly, twirly, round and round, down they scamper to the ground. Where's their supper? In a shell. Snappy, cracky, out it fell. And there they go. Hey, thanks for playing. Storytime friends. Teacher Missy, what a fun day I had today.
This was really a lot of fun.
I learned some things about chipmunks I didn't know, like they climb trees. I didn't know that. Keep an eye open to see if you can see a chipmunk in a tree, and I'm going to do the same thing, okay? And we had our chipmunk, he ate all the big acorns, and now he's faced with a tree full of little ones. I hope he has a good place to store those. We learned some great information about chipmunks. And chipmunk and mouse, they both wanted what? That's right, they both wanted the nut. That's what this word says right here, N-U-T. That word says nut. And they kind of had a fight over the nut. But then Squirrel came and said, no, excuse me, it's my nut. I lost it. So what did they finally have fun playing with?
A log. That was so great.
That was a good solution, I think.
It was a very good solution.
But now I think it's time for us to say goodbye.
I think it is.
Should we sing?
Let's sing.
All right. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Yes, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Story time is done today. Now it's time to go and play. Oh, it's time to say goodbye to all our friends. Goodbye, everybody.
Woo-hoo. Find a chipmunk.